Okay guys, so how's it going today? So this will be a quick video for today. And sun's out, so that's nice. Still freaking cold. So I'll lock the door here instead. So yeah. Anyways, just gonna show you something here quick that my mom got or a few days ago, and they didn't have what I actually wanted, but I was able to find this. Let's see if I can get a better camera angle on this. With some turtle wax for the John Deere, and this is I wanted the spray-on stuff, but they didn't have that, so they got this here super hard shell stuff. So now it says that you're supposed to buff this on too. Well, I don't have a buffing machine, so I don't know what I can do there. If I could just use a soft rag or something. I think I do have quite a few of those soft rags. And it did there's a little sponge in here you use to put it on, and then I guess you use the rag to buff it or whatever, and then remove it. So that's just what I got for the John Deere. I know there was one guy that was saying something about, well, one guy had said to do a better job of cleaning the John Deere, I could just use some dish soap or whatever and scrape it a little bit there. And there was another guy that commented too, saying that it probably wouldn't be the best thing to do for the paint. Well, see, the paint that's on this John Deere is not actual paint. It's powder coated paint. So it's you know, it's cooked on. It's not sprayed on like, you know, with a spray gun. They don't do it that way anymore. It's all freaking powder coating shit now. So yeah, that's how that one's working. I don't think it'll hurt the John Deere at all. I might do the rims too. I was even thinking about maybe doing the mower deck too, but that's a lot of scrubbing to get that deck clean again, so I'm not going to really bother too much with the mower deck. But I'm going to do like a little test first to make sure this stuff's not actually going to ruin the paint. The wax won't hurt the paint, but in the dish soap, I might just like put soap on one little corner of the tractor, something where you can't see it, and see what it does to the paint. If it doesn't do anything to it, then it's fine. So that's how I'm going to probably clean it. It's going to have to get cleaned pretty good, because it's still got some grime and shit on it from last year, and I never really could get it off. And I don't want to start getting big major scratches in the paint too. I think the wax is actually like, well, it protects the paint, so I think what happens there is that the wax takes all the scratches and not your paint. So if you get a scratch in the wax, you can just re-wax it again and it'll be fine. So that's what I'm going to do with this John Deere. I got to take a little bit better care of this John Deere. It's just getting to be too much. So I don't think I'm going to really do it to Big Red. For one, there's not really a lot there to wax. And two, he's kind of already too far gone anyway. There's no point. There's no point. I mean, the rims got rust on them and everything and stuff. So Big Red's got a lot of scratches and shit in it too. So it ain't worth it anymore. So I'm not going to worry about it. But the John Deere is still perfectly fine. So I'm going to hurry up and do that before I'm waiting for some freaking nicer weather to show up. And nothing. God, it's still freaking cold out. I think it's like almost, well, the thing on the house said almost 40, but that's not correct. This thing's almost saying 42. I don't know what my phone was saying, but I think it said about the same, so I don't know. But it's gonna be, it's not supposed to get warmer out now until I think Thursday. So that's real lovely. So it's going to be a little while yet. My hoses are still out and they're still frozen, but I'm not going to do anything about it. Fuck it. I'm sick and tired of having to bring stuff in, take it back out, take it, in and out, you know. I want to leave it out for the summer and be done with it. So yeah. And I noticed too, well, I had ordered stuff from Harvard Freights. I think I told you guys that before, or last video. And I kind of didn't really notice it, but they do sell, well, I figured they would, but I wasn't really paying attention. They do sell tarps, like car tarps, and tents and stuff for cars. And I've been wanting to get something for this Ion. Now, even though the Ion's got a blown motor, it's still salvageable. But it just needs a new engine, and that's about it. It's got a couple dents in it, but you can pop them out real quick and easy. So I think what I'm going to do is, don't think I'm going to wash it and wax it. There's really no point, but it's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to get it running, bring it up by the house, wash it, wax it, and then either get a tarp for it or a tent and cover it up so it's not getting hammered by the weather. Because this winter has been all right. There wasn't too much snow on it, but the snow gets the car looking dirty and stuff too, right? So can't really have that going on. So but it'll be a while yet before that Ion gets fixed. I'm going to probably have to run it around even if it blows the motor up, because it needs to run and stretch its legs a little bit. So I'm not sure what there is left for oil in it, because it's leaking oil too. So I think what happens is that when they tore the motor apart, they kind of ripped the seals and they didn't bother replacing them. Well, they said the engine was done for anyway. They said it would cost too much to repair it. That she would be better off just getting a whole new car. So they said it wasn't worth for them to replace it or to rebuild the motor. It wouldn't be worth it to her. She'd be losing out so much money. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's what I guess what I'm gonna do. Later on, I'm just going to I guess get something for that car. I kind of would rather prefer a tent, because a car tent, because you know, if it hails out, then the car won't take the hail, right? You know, if you just get a tarp for it, well, the tarp's still laying over the car, so if it hails on it, and if you get big enough hail, it could, you know, still damage the car. Even with the tent, the tarp's just going to keep it from getting wet and dirty. So, and I think the one I was looking at in Harvard Freights was weather resistant, so it's supposed to stand up to some weather. I don't know how it does against the sun, but I'm sure it'll handle it fine. So, I mean, it does get some coverage from the trees, so it's not going to get full sun, but I don't know. Got to keep the car somewhat in good shape, either it just ain't going to be worth it at all. So, but yeah, so I guess that's what I'll do. I'm waiting for nicer weather to come out. I'm thinking probably next week, because the rest of this week's going to be chilly. They said Thursday is supposed to start warming up, and then it's supposed to, I guess, get into the 70s after that. But you know, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what the hell happens, but I don't know. Cause I got to work on those garden hoses too. I got to put new seals in them and see if that'll fix my leak. And I can't even do that because it's you know, too cold out. The hoses are still frozen. Well, they don't get no sun, so whatever. Frick it. So whatever. What can you do? Not much you can do about it, I guess. And yeah, I know someone was helping me out with finding a certain kind of BB gun to take care of this cat problem. Well, I'm not gonna say who he is, because then you guys will just go over to his channel and piss him off. So I'm not gonna say his name, but he found a BB gun that had a little bit more firepower than the one I was thinking of getting. But I'm still thinking about going down that route, but I think I might give the the trap thing another go to see how that goes. I'm waiting for, because he's really not going to be out when it's, you know, I mean, he'll be out. This cold won't bother him, but he's more out there when it's warmer out, so he kind of likes to hang out. And not sure where he went now, because yesterday I gave him a pretty damn good scare with the four-wheeler, so I almost had his ass, but of course he's behind the over there by the pine tree, so couldn't get him that way. So needs to be more in the open, kind of like. But whatever. So, like I said, I think I'll try the trap thing one more time, and then if that don't work, then I'll probably just have to get the BB gun and take care of it that way. But it's not the way I want to go with it. But you know, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to take care of this problem. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So. This BB gun was a lot more expensive too. It was on sale for like 180, but originally like 230. But the one I was looking at was about the same, a little cheaper. That was more like an M14 BB gun. So a little less power, but it still had. It ran on CO2, so that's why I wanted it. Because CO2 is a little more powerful than just a regular BB gun, air-powered BB gun. So. I don't know. I think the one that he gave me, I think does run on CO2 as well. I don't know, but it ran on something like that. So, you know, and another thing too, if it doesn't even kill him, it doesn't have to kill him. But if you keep doing it enough times, he might just get scared enough that he'll just run off and never come back. That's another way I want to do it too. Is, you know, I scare him enough that he'll just want to run off and never come back. So. Whatever works, whatever gets rid of him, you know, so that's just the way it's going to have to work. So, you know, what can you do? So, but whatever, I'm not going to worry about it as of right now. So, he doesn't really come out a lot during the day, but he does sometimes, but not all the time. I haven't seen him yet today. That's still fairly early, so I don't know where he's at. He's probably sleeping, so... But, yeah. So hopefully we can do something about this. Take care of this little problem. But, whatever. Well, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this turtle wax stuff here I got. So, that's what I got. I wanted the spray-on stuff, but they didn't have it. This will work just as good. So, some people say to do a circular motion, and some say not to do it. So what do? You know, I mean, some say if you do it in circular motion, then you'll get swirls. You get swirls in the wax look. I don't know how, because once you wax the damn thing or buff it, it's supposed to be invisible. So I don't know, but it's supposed to give you that shine, but it's supposed to be invisible too. So they're probably not waxing it right. But, you know, I don't know. I've never waxed anything in my life, so this is going to be new for me. And I think my sister's old car, too, that's powder coated. I think that's the way they're doing it now. It's powder coating everything. So if I really wanted to, I could do the soap test on the car. But I don't know, because that's steel, though. Well, the bumper's plastic, so that's got to be powder coated. But, I don't know, I'll find a place maybe on the John Deere or somewhere where you're not going to see it and do a test there and wait a little bit. And if it don't hurt the paint, then I'm going to use the soap and dish soap, clean it up real good. And then, once that dries, I'll bring the tractor in the shop. They say to have it in a dark place or in a shady spot, not in direct sunlight. I suppose because the wax will dry out pretty quick that way. And then, I'll just bring it here in the shop. Should be fine in here. I could put the door down too if it's too much, but I kind of have to have the door up too for extra light, so should be fine in here. As long as you're not parked in the sun there, you'll be alright. Bring it in here, wax the piss out of it. I'm going to do the rims too. I want to do the back side of the rims, but that's a bitch to get to. You'd have to pop the tires off. And those tires have never been off, so, and they are probably due for their bolt torque thingy too. You gotta check the torqueness on those bolts. I don't have a torque tester duty, so I gotta get me one of those. I think there's a couple on Northern Tool I could have gotten. I'm sure I can probably get them for cheaper on Harbor Freights, but don't want to go too damn cheap because then they're useless. So, but yeah. So, once we get a nice day, we'll start working on this shit and just do whatever I gotta do there. So, well, whatever. Hopefully this stuff will work. Like I said, I've never waxed, so I don't. It says that you have to buff it. Well, I don't have a buffing machine, so hopefully I can just use the rag and, you know, buff it on that way. I don't know, cause I mean, it looks like on the video I watched, cause Turtle Wax is on YouTube too, and they had a video on how to wax a car, and I never seen them pull out a buffing machine. They just wiped it on, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then took a soft rag to it and just wiped it off, and there you go. So, I don't know. I think if you wanted a really, really nice shiny paint, you would have to use a buffing machine then to get maximum shine out of it. I don't really need to go crazy, I think, on the maximum shine because the tractor's still shiny. You just got to get the mud and crap off it and all the dirty paw prints and the stains and stuff. Shut up, you stupid crow! Fuck. God, no wonder why I want a gun. I should shoot these fucking birds, too. I'm actually thinking about buying a little, that was like 120 bucks. It was a little, right on 120 volt. It's like a little, I don't know what they call it. It's like a thing that makes a noise, and it's supposed to scare off certain breeds of birds. I think it would most likely work for these. And, I don't know if the birds can hear it, and if we can hear it, or if it's just the birds that can hear it. But they says that it puts out a loud noise, and it scares the birds. I'm thinking about getting one of those because, man, last year those freaking birds were terrible on my trees. They were all sitting on my trees at, you know, like 6 or 7 in the morning, or fuck, even earlier than that, 4 in the morning, and they were hollering like, wow. So I think I'm going to get me one of those Deweys. Like I said, I'm not sure if people can hear it or if it's just the birds. But, I mean, if people can hear it, it's probably going to drive my neighbors batty. But I think if you there is times that you can set it so it'll come on like every minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I guess, you know, and so on. You can time it. I'd probably time it for as long as possible. Like, set it for like 30 minutes so it comes on every 30 minutes, so maybe it won't quite drive people as batty as it would be like every minute, you know. It's supposed to scare them away, so I don't know. It's worth a shot. It's supposed to be waterproof too. It's supposed to be out for outdoor use, obviously. So just plug it into your standard 120 volt plug-in, which I got one in the back there. It doesn't really work, but it works for the light stuff. So as long as I don't run my shop on it, it'll take the load of lights and stuff fine. So, well, it won't even take the load of my shop lights, but it'll take the load of. I had the sub pump, or the pump plugged into there when I was pumping out the tank there, and it ran that fine, and I had my Christmas deers running on that too, so it works somewhat. Just doesn't like a full load, so whatever. So maybe I'll get one of those. Maybe if I can put it on top of my roof. I might actually put it, if I can, that won't work, because I'd have to put it on an extension cord. I don't really want to do that. I was thinking maybe I could put it on top of the chimney, because I got to make a cover for it, because the snow and shit's getting in it. Put it on top of the chimney. That way it's pointing towards all the trees a little bit. That way, you know, it'll scare them. It'd be nice if it was on a rotating thing, because then you could just rotate it with a button or something, and then, you know, or if it could just rotate on its own, that'd be nice. But they don't make anything like that, as far as I know. So unless you want to go with a big ass siren, like a severe tornado warning siren. But that'll piss the neighbors off, so can't have that. But I don't know. Birds are kind of annoying. And then my mom finally said that she had enough of the crap, and she told me to do something about it. I guess I guess I can kind of hear it too, but not as much as her, because her bedroom's right over the wall. There's a wall down in the basement. It's not load bearing, so I could take it out, but I want it there because I want to put sheetrock on it at some point. But I guess what they're doing is that they're climbing up the side. I guess I can show you for an example. I guess what they do is they climb up the stud, right? And of course, then up in the house, see, like this is the concrete, and then this is the floor, right, of the house. Or the house is sitting on the concrete. Well, there's insulation, of course, down in the cracks. Well, I guess they're climbing up the duty and ripping out all the insulation, but they're also getting very rough up here too. They're really playing, and they're making a lot of banging noises and stuff, and the post that was down there was loose at the bottom. It was never screwed in, so I put a big screw in it. And I also put some wood. I think I did one flat, coming out like this. And then I did some along the side, so they can't climb the pole anymore and get up there and do whatever they're doing. But we can still hear them that they're trying to climb the pole, but they can't move the pole as much now because it's screwed in, and they can't get up there and wrestle because it's blocked off now. So we don't hear that now as much. She don't hear it as much. So, but she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep in the last last few weeks, because the last few weeks they've really been going to town on it, and I said to effing hell with it, and I just put a screw in the bottom of that post and blocked it off so they couldn't climb up there. So so far it's been working. She hasn't really said anything, and I haven't really heard anything either. So, but you can still hear them kind of somewhat climbing the pole, but it's not like a constant. It's not like that, right? That's what you would hear when they were playing. You would hear it banging. So I think their body slamming themselves up against the wood. So now you don't hear that as much. Now they're just wrestling on the pole a little bit, but only one cat can fit on the pole at a time, unless they want to, stack themselves. But I don't know. So hopefully, so far it's worked. Like I said, you can still hear them climbing on the pole, but not as bad. It's not as loud now too, because it's been screwed down. I used a pretty big heavy-duty screw too, so yeah, got to get more screws at the hardware as well. I got some left, but they're kind of too small, so yeah, hopefully that'll work. Hopefully that'll keep them somewhat under control. And my mother said too that she's getting kind of ticked off at the cats too, because they're doing their business. They're doing their business now on the concrete floor in the basement, and we don't appreciate that too much. So kind of just took them to the farm for now. In the house, the old house, they can just fucking sit there for a while. That's where they go if they're bad. They go over to the farm and they hibernate now in the old house. So fuck it. They're only going to be there for a couple of days anyway. That's kind of like their naughty corner. Because you can't just say go sit in the damn corner. You can't do that. They're not like kids. So they're not going to listen to you. So that's what we did for now. So, because they're just getting too wild over here. These cats are getting too wild, and they're beating everything up. They tore my house up so bad down in the basement, it's not even funny. So, yeah, I just used, I had some of this kind of stuff left over, this wood stuff here. I had some of that stuff still left in the basement, and that's what I used to block off that. Yeah, see, it was some of these, right? Some of these doohies. See, I cut these to size to fit to make a shelf out of these, but I still had some left, and that's what I used. They're a tad bit thinner, though, I think. Not by much. So, something like that I used, and so far it's worked. Like I said, I haven't really heard them doing anything. Mother doesn't complain to me anymore, so. But now she complains because they're pooping and peeing everywhere, and I really can't have that, so. We kind of know we know who's been doing it, so we're just going to Let them sit at the farm for a while, learn their lesson. So, and something else we got to do. I just kind of remembered to do this. We got to clean the tracks for the shop door. See this black shit here? I don't know if you can see that yet. See this black shit? They say you don't want that because that causes restriction in the door. Even though I don't really feel it in this door, but I know I did it to the big main garage door. I cleaned it up. I just took some shop towels and some WD-40 and cleaned up the tracks. They tell you to keep the tracks clean. Don't be putting grease on them. I guess some people grease them, thinking that it's actually helping, and it's not. It's actually making it worse. So, yeah, we gotta clean this one too. I want to replace the rollers on this door too, but I think I could probably get a couple more years out of them yet. I did put some grease on them, the right kind of grease that these doors require. So, works fine, I guess. But yeah. So, I'm waiting for some nicer weather to come out because I want to start waxing the tractor. I even want to start cleaning it again, but yeah, it's just so cold out. Well, I can't do anything anyway because the hoses are still fucking frozen. So it pisses me off. But I guess, what can you do about it? So, whatever. I guess at some point, we'll get to wash the tractor. Get it shiny. So, and surprisingly for that tractor being 5 years old, it's actually in pretty good shape for being 5 years old. Now, if I would have never washed it, it would have looked like crap by now, but that's not really the way I am. You pay damn good money for a piece of equipment. You might as well just keep it looking nice as long as possible, and I think waxing will help. As long as I wax it, the paint could probably stay that way for, probably another 20 years, And I don't know how often you have to wax it. Maybe once a year you'd have to wax it. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. It doesn't say anything on the container how often to wax. So I'm thinking maybe once a year. And I heard good things about it too. That I guess if you wax them, wax your car, truck, tractor, whatever you plan on waxing. Water, dirt, mud, sticky stuff, whatever, won't stick to it. It actually, you just wash it right off, and it just comes right off. The water, I seen a video on it too, that guy did that, and the wax just, if you have it waxed, the water just rolls right off. It doesn't even stick. That's actually pretty good, because then the tractor would dry so much quicker. For me, because sometimes when I did wash it, I'd have to sit outside for like half an hour. 20 minutes on a good windy day, but half an hour or so with no wind, just full sun. Even longer if it's cloudy out. So I think with this wax stuff, it actually might last. It might actually dry up a little quicker because the water can just roll right off. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to do it to Big Red, because for one, there's really nothing there to wax. I mean, I guess you could wax the rims, but that's about it. Fuck that, I might as well, they're already kind of damaged, so I might as well just get new ones, and then I'll start waxing them. Could probably just keep these for snow plowing in the wintertime, put the new ones on for the summer, I guess, I don't know. I've kind of been meaning to buy another set of tires. I want summertime tires, and then I want wintertime tires. I think for the summertime, I think I could get away with turf tires, but I kind of want some extra traction, and even in the summertime, so I might get the same kind of tires I got now. But then in the wintertime, I'll get a little more grippier kind of tires, almost like egg tires, right? Not egg tires, but they're kind of like them. They grip a lot more. So probably snow tires is probably what I would get. They do, but they do make snow tires. I don't know if they make them for ATVs or not, but I think that's what I would use in the wintertime. So, because these tires are getting kind of wore out, so wore out tires would be alright in the summertime as well. Because you don't need a lot of traction in the summertime. It's pretty much will dry out, so unless you're pulling heavy loads, then you would need good tires, but I don't know. I guess we'll worry about it some other time, not today, but figured I'd just show you guys my turtle wax. This is what I got, so I guess that's what we'll do whenever we get a good day of weather. And yeah, another thing too I gotta do to the John Deere is I have to order. I gotta get a new fuel filter for it, and I gotta get a new air filter for it too. And it probably needs a hydraulic change. Because I didn't do it last year, I don't think, but I did it the year before. I'm going to do it every other year because I don't really need to do it every year. Because it's not really being used a lot, you know. So I don't know. So I think maybe this year I'll probably change the hydraulic oil on it, and I'll have to get a new filter for it as well. Because I still got the original one in there because they didn't give me a new one when I ordered the oil. I was like, well, really? And I didn't want to run all the way back to John Deere just for a filter. So yeah, just leave the old one in there and we'll just reuse it. So we got to get that thing replaced because I'm sure that's pretty full of crap. And John Deere should be running a little bit better. Won't be too bad getting the air filter, but the oil filter is what's going to probably be a cocksucker to replace. And I'm not going to have John Deere do it because they'll just charge too much for it. I can just get a filter for like 15, 20 bucks and be done with it, right? Have to see if I can get an air filter for it. And get the John Deere done, and then Big Red's going to have it done as well. I don't even know where the fuel filter is on Big Red. I know where the air filter is, but not the fuel filter. Probably in some stupid place you can't get to it. So, and like I said, I wanted to replace everything with a K&N filter, but a lot of people say that they're really no good. So, I think they do make K&N filters. Even for my tiller, I think I've seen one for it. Because it's just a little filter. But, whatever, it don't matter. Filters are filters, they all do the same thing anyway. K&N just helps to boost your power up a little bit and gives you more launching power and stuff. Don't really need that in the tiller. Just need more horsepower is what I need. So, yeah, guys, I guess I'll probably take off. Sorry for this boring video, but there's nothing going on. I guess once we can start waxing this son of a bitch, that will probably be my next video. Not too sure when my Harbor Freight order will show up. Probably not for a couple of weeks. I haven't even gotten a tracking number yet, so I don't think they've even shipped it yet. So I think it takes them like a week to process it, and it takes them a week to even send it. So that, about 2 weeks. That's why I don't like ordering from them. But you might as well if their crap's. I mean, if you need stuff, but you're not in a hurry for it, get it for cheaper and get it on Harbor Freights. And if you need it right away, then get it on Northern Tool. At least with Northern Tool, you'll get it within like a week. If I ordered it on a Sunday night, which they won't do anything until Monday morning. But if you do it on a Sunday night, they'll start processing it first thing Monday morning, and it could actually be leaving by Tuesday, and then it'll be here by Friday. So that's the way usually it's a good week. It gets here within a good week from Northern Tool. Harbor Freight is kind of slow, but well, their shipping is cheap too, $6, $7. Northern Tools is like 10, 15. So, but whatever. The stuff I ordered, I was not in a big hurry for it, so I figured, well, why get it on Northern Tool and pay all that extra bit of money? Because I'm not in a hurry for it. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to probably take off. I don't want to bore you guys too much more. There's nothing else really going on. I'm just waiting for some nicer weather to come up so we can start doing some stuff. I want to get the garden hoses in and get them worked on. I want to work on them first before I even get working on the John Deere because the hoses leak like a son of a bitch. It's incredible. No wonder why my water bill's so freaking high at the end, come next month. So it's crazy. Gotta stop the leaking crap. And we get to test out the new gun too, the water gun that I got for it too. So that'll be quite interesting how that bad boy works. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna. You know what? I don't do this very often, but we'll do a lockup on the shop. I don't do these too often. See, do you guys remember how to lock up a shop? I know Devil of Strikes thought it was pretty funny. So we're gonna do it again. Pull your door down. Mine does have a piece of string on it. See, I don't use a string now to pull it. I'm tall enough to reach the door from here. Make sure she's in there. Make sure she's in her dewies. Make sure this is straight, because this thing's actually upside down, so the key goes in upside down. Well, right now it's in right, but then you lock it. It takes 2 hands with this door. Check it for lockness. And there you go. Shop door is locked, and it's down as well. Working alright. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.